Integrity means nothing if you collapse when tested. See, strength of character is the muscle integrity needs. Without it, your values die the moment things get tough. I'm DEMOND Logan, the high performance coach specializing in mindset transformations for professionals who are looking to lead stronger, execute faster, and expand their impact. See, these professionals call me because they understand that a better version of them will get the best results. So what we're going to do right now is in the next few minutes, I'll reveal to you the critical missing piece between having integrity and leading with integrity, especially when pressure mounts and compromises seem easy. You'll learn how to transform your integrity from an idea into an identity that never cracks under pressure. Let's develop. 2 layers to this framework and process that I created that's going to help you really break down and understand what it means to be the highest version of you. So the first thing I want to talk about in this first layer, we're going to cover what do I mean when I say integrity versus the strength of character or character strength. In this equation, integrity equals intention and character equals execution. And what we have learned is that pressure is what reveals the truth. This is something that has happened here recently in my life where I was a part of an organization, a brotherhood, and I saw so many men. Now, I will also give it in context that I'm referring to people who were behind the curtain who actually saw how things were ran. And what I've learned is what I saw there was a lot of men who have what I would call high integrity, but not the same strength of character. Right? And I was at one point thinking of it the same way that I see them thinking of it, that, hey, you know, I'm going to take this sacrifice. I'm going to be in this position that I don't want to be in because I want to be here for this group of men, for these group of people, for my team, for my company, for my organization, however it relates to you, right? And they said that I want to be here for them. So they need me here because I have to be the buffer between them and the leader of this organization. Well, when I thought about that, I thought a lot about how the issue that lies with that is that you're in a position where the person who's leading, you feel you have to protect. That is a fundamental, major problem. But how this relates to the difference between integrity and strength of character is simple. I believe that there's several men who have high integrity, a lot of integrity, and that if you were to remove the leader out and you were to put any one of them in that place, the organization and the quality of the experience of that organization would instantly dramatically improve, right? Now, one thing that I give the leader of that organization credit for is he's an excellent builder, but just does not lead with integrity when it comes to people and men and really seeing people. So, but if you were to replace one of these people with a higher integrity into that role, I believe that the organization will be ran with a higher sense of integrity. However, leaving that organization to stand on that same integrity creates a situation where you would be ridiculed, demonized, talked poorly of, and people who you once would consider brothers, friends, will turn their backs and not consider you that anymore just because you left the organization. If you leave or move around in any kind of way because of someone else, but not with your own personal belief, then I believe that is showing that you have a lack of strength of character, that you're weak. You're just a follower. You're just going because everybody's going, and this, whether it's go or stay, seems popular, so you're staying or going. Now, the other part to this that I thought was very interesting is when it revealed to me that a person can have high integrity but lack strength of character. Because they agree that this is wrong, this isn't right, and they will say things like, and if I'm gonna go have this firm conversation or however, whatever, but if this doesn't change, I'm up out of here, right? But things don't change. It's doubled down that things won't change, but still you stay there because you don't want to have the feeling of being out of that group, or being unpopular, or being ridiculed, or maybe you have financial resources and investments or whatever tied to it. So you're willing to accept whatever it is, even though in your heart it's not your nature and who you are. This creates the pressure that has easily defined the difference between someone having high integrity and having the strength of character to execute whatever is in line with that integrity. And when I got that understanding and really wrapped that concept up, I see it across the landscape. We see it all the time in business. We see it all the times in our personal lives and the different things that we want to do as individuals, where we are willing to make compromises that we don't agree with to avoid what we perceive to be pressure, what we perceive to be something that's not popular. It's unpopular, and I don't want to ruin this. I don't want my business to suffer, so on and so forth. And then in the certain conditions, those that you said that you were there to actually protect and help, instead of leading the ship in a different direction, you will compromise them ultimately because you can't maintain your integrity when the real pressure comes. Now, the other parts of this is it gets really tricky to understand, because this draws up a totally different point. Integrity is what you intend, but strength of character determines what you actually do when tested. See, pressure in this case doesn't build character, it exposes it. But why do even when leaders with integrity buckle when the stakes are the highest? This is the second layer. And the reason why that happens, why they buckle, is because they haven't really taken the time to align their integrity and their character. And what I mean by that is they have this integrity that's high, that they stand on, that they live by. However, they have to now take the time in building unbreakable character, right? So there's a few steps to building unbreakable character. First thing that you have to do is you have to define your non-negotiables. Then you have to rehearse under pressure. And then you have to normalize the discomfort. And what this breaks is that when you are going through life, before you enter into any situation, you have to say that these are the things that draws the line in the sand, and I am not willing to compromise or step over that line. So if it's anything that I see here right now, no matter how good it is, no matter how much value, no matter what, if this line is crossed, that is a non-negotiable for me, and I will not negotiate, but I will separate myself. Now, the part where we talk about actually going through the mechanics of actually rehearsing under pressure, what that does is this. Let me get myself situated right. You have to go through and rehearse these situations on your own terms. Now, when I say on your own terms, I mean, you know what to anticipate. I've literally taught this in videos before. So if you're following these videos, you already got this key. But for those who didn't catch it or missed those videos, let me break it down for you. When you rehearse under pressure, you create a condition that you create that says, when this happens, this is what I will do. It allows you to build up what you anticipate, so when it comes, it doesn't have the whole effect of, ooh, it's a surprise. Ooh, I wasn't expecting this. And you're not thrown off because you understand what it's like. In previous videos, I used it like when you're going to the gym and you're working out and you're training, what does it feel like, and what are you going to do when your muscles start to burn? When your chest starts to burn? When your will is starting to crack and all you want to do is seek comfort and give up, what are you going to do in that moment? The likelihood of you being able to endure the pressure and stay in the fight and stand on the principle and operate with high integrity to maintain, high character to maintain high integrity. You're more likely to be successful when you create a condition ahead of time, right? And this is anticipation. And in that anticipation, you've already determined what your response or what your action is going to be in that moment. So when that moment comes, as expected, you go straight to the action because you are eliminating out the emotions of how you feel and you're going to the planned logical action that is going to keep you in line with your growth. Now, when we take this part and we wrap it up, now what that actually does is, like I said, it normalizes discomfort. See, the thing about discomfort is that we are taught that discomfort in general, in its essence, is a sign that something is wrong, just like how pain exists in our body. Often pain is a survival mechanism that says something is wrong here. Something is wrong. So we need to pay attention. We need to provide extra care and extra focus on this so it doesn't harm us. It's why they say that people, and I forgot the name of the condition, but I have a condition where they feel no physical pain, have a shorter lifespan because they're unaware when certain things are wrong because their body is not telling them. However, but in this case, where we're talking about normalizing discomfort, we are not talking about health pains. We're talking about the discomfort that is required by the success we are in pursuit of. And in this case, building unbreakable character. So when we do that, we understand that these conditions are going to make us want to quit. These conditions are going to make us want to give up. These conditions are going to make us want to fold. But we are going to say that in order to be the person of high integrity and high character with a firm, unshakable, unbreakable character strength means that this person is accustomed to these tough circumstances. This person is accustomed to people speaking bad on their name. This person is accustomed to people turning their back on them. This person is accustomed to people lying on them, demonizing them, because they stood for something that was honest, true, in line with their integrity, but was also unpopular. That's the discomfort. But when you normalize and you prepare ahead of time, when that moment comes, it's not a sweat. It's actually not a hard decision to do because you know exactly what you're going to do. You know exactly how this is going to go because you have normalized it. This moment defines you as a leader. Will you remain someone who talks integrity but collapses under pressure? Or are you ready to build the character required to execute your principles consistently, even when it's hard, unpopular, or painful? Integrity out character is an illusion. Character is what makes integrity matter. Are you ready to uncover what's silently holding you back from having true strength of character when it matters most? What I want you to do is I want you to click the link that you see right here in the description. And what it's going to help you do is going to take you down a journey that's going to help you reveal the secret barriers quietly undermining your integrity and character. And until you see them, you can never conquer them. Click the link in the description now.